Alright, let's talk about Hellboy, the demon raised by humans who somehow ended up being the good guy. Yeah, you heard that right. Hellboy isn't your typical hero. He's literally the spawn of Satan. But he's out there fighting evil, because apparently, being the son of the devil doesn't automatically mean you're a bad guy. Instead of causing havoc, he's out there saving humanity from the creatures that would actually destroy it. Can you believe this guy? Hellboy's backstory. Raised by a professor, but never a straight-A student. So here's the deal. Hellboy was summoned to Earth by a Nazi occultist. Yep, this movie is already off the rails. But instead of being a weapon for destruction, he's raised by Professor Bruttenholm, a guy with way too much faith in this red-skinned demon. Imagine raising Satan's son as if he's just some regular kid. But it works, kind of. Hellboy grows up with a compassionate heart and a bizarre sense of humor, like he's a class clown at Hell's high school but with way bigger hands and a giant fist that could knock out a tank. Instead of burning down villages, he's out there punching evil monsters in the face. Is it weird? Yeah. Does it work? Absolutely. His arm. More than just a hand. It's the key to the apocalypse, no big deal. Now, let's talk about Hellboy's biggest asset, his right hand. This isn't just your average hand that you use to eat pizza or throw a punch. Oh no! Hellboy's hand is actually a mystical relic called the right hand of doom. Yeah, so if you think your right hand is good for a high five, think again. This thing could bring about the end of the world. Can you imagine that pressure? Like, every time Hellboy scratches his nose, he's got the weight of Armageddon sitting there, ready to unfold at any moment. No big deal, right? But instead of letting that overwhelm him, he uses it to punch monsters in the face and protect people from the very chaos his hand could unleash. Somebody get this guy a therapist. The villains. Monsters that make your worst nightmare look like a soft pillow. Of course, every good hero needs a worthy opponent, and Hellboy is no different. The guy faces off against a bunch of mythical creatures that look like they came straight out of your worst nightmare. We're talking about evil fairies, giant tentacle monsters, and mutated freaks that you wouldn't want to meet in an alley at night. Or ever, really. And Hellboy doesn't just face these monsters once. Oh no. He's going up against literal gods and supernatural beings that want to end the world, while he's over here trying to keep it together with a smart aleck attitude and a cigar in his mouth, because why wouldn't a demon want to smoke? But of course, Hellboy never backs down. He might have the personality of a bouncer at a sketchy nightclub, but when it's time to get to work, you can bet your soul he's ready. The sidekick. A fishman who's more human than most people. Now, let's talk about the sidekick, because every superhero needs one. Hellboy's got this half-fish, half-human guy named Abe Sapien. Abe's basically like that friend you have who's way too cool for school, but also a bit of a weirdo. He's smart, philosophical, and can talk to fish, which I guess is a talent. I mean, sure, it's a weird superpower to have, but you never know when it's going to come in handy, like when you're fighting some sort of sea monster and you need the opinion of your underwater friends. But anyway, Abe is basically the only one who gets Hellboy because, let's face it, nobody's going to understand the emotional turmoil of being a demon superhero with a hand that could end humanity. That's some next-level stuff right there. The real drama. Hellboy versus his own destiny. Here's the kicker. Hellboy doesn't just fight monsters. He's also fighting his own destiny. His true purpose is to bring about the end of the world, but he doesn't want to do that. He's out here trying to save humanity, even though his entire existence is tied to the idea of destroying it. So imagine the conflict, right? Am I gonna become what I was made to be? Or am I gonna fight it and try to save the world? Like, this is deep, man. It's philosophical stuff, mixed with giant fist fights. And instead of embracing his fate, Hellboy says, nah, screw that. I'm gonna be the guy who stops it all, which makes him a super relatable anti-hero. Because honestly, who wants to destroy the world? The end. It's an emotional roller coaster with punches. Now, I won't spoil how everything goes down, but trust me, it's a wild ride. Hellboy's gotta face his father's true intentions, battle against a hell of a lot of monsters, and make some serious decisions about his destiny. Oh, and did I mention he does it while making wisecracks? Yeah, he's cooler than you and he doesn't even try. The guy knows how to fight, but he also knows how to get under your skin with a one-liner. And in the end, Hellboy's story is all about defying your origins and becoming your own person. Which, honestly, is pretty damn motivational for anyone who's ever felt like they don't fit in, or they were born to do something they don't want to do.